in the kitchen today. Remember I told you that I was going to bring you a recipe using those celery leaves that I grew in my garden, or should I say my outdoor grocery store? Well, this is the recipe that I am making. I am making some chicken stew. So what I did is that I cut up like 5 chicken breasts. As you can see, I have them right here, 5 chicken breasts. And then I put 1 carton of chicken stock into my crock pot first. And then I put, these are the seasonings I used. I put in some black pepper. I put in a couple of bay leaves. I put in some parsley. And I also used some of my homemade parsley, which I'm so excited about. And then I also put in, you know, that complete seasoning that you can buy at Walmart. And I put in some thyme and I put in some onions. So what you need to do is first you need to put your chicken broth in your crock pot. Then you need to clean, and I mean clean, your chicken breasts. Cut them in chunks. Put them in your crock pot along with your chicken stock, and then add your seasonings. And then I let mine go overnight, and this is what it turned out. Look at this. Doesn't this look good? So the next thing I'm going to do after I taste it and make sure my seasonings are on point, then I will be adding the next ingredient. So when that time comes, I will come back and I will let you guys see how it goes. See? Doesn't it look delicious? And it's such a cold day here in Virginia. This would be a perfect chicken dinner for today. All right, guys, I'll see you in a little bit. Guys, we are back in the kitchen cooking with Renee. Oh, and I wanted to show you the type of chicken broth that I use. It's by Walmart, and this was the 48 ounce of chicken stock. Because I know I forgot to tell you guys that when I showed you my ingredients. So I went outside and I picked some of my celery leaves right here. And I also have my fresh homegrown celery that I grew myself. So I'm going to chop these up. And then I have some store-bought carrots. Because you know what? Miss Renee's carrot game is not as strong as I see you guys out there. So this summer, this is what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to try to get my carrot game up to where it needs to be so I won't have to be going into the store and purchasing carrots. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop up my celery leaves. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at that. Just fan myself. Look at that. Beautiful presentation of my celery leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and chop the celery leaves up, and I'm going to chop my celery and my carrots. And then we're going to take it over to the crock pot. So let me show you what I'm doing. As you can see on my cutting board, I have my celery leaves. They look like this. And all I did was just pop off the leaf. And I left the stem on because you don't want the stem part. So I just washed them really well. And then I just slice and dice them. I got to be kind of sneaky because in this house, you know, people, they don't eat a lot of greens, so I got to cut them fine so it'll look like an herb instead of like an actual leaf. Because if they see a leaf floating around, they'll be like, "Mom, what is that?" So I have to camouflage it, just like I used to do when my kids were small. So I'm going to cut them up finely like that so they'll think it's parsley, when we all know it's celery leaves. So, but dice them up really good. See how fine that is? Look at that. They won't even know. Chop them bad boys up. so it looks like an herb, like a good seasoning. So that's how Miss Renee, if you have people that in your family that won't eat like vegetables or, you know, greens, this is a perfect way to sneak them in and they won't even know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my celery. Look at this, my old celery. I grew it myself. So excited. So Miss Renee's just going to chop this up real quick. Give it a hard little coarse chop. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to throw those in a bowl that I already have here with some of my celery that I've already cut up. I'm going to chop up some of these carrots, put them in a bowl that I have over here as well. So see, I got the carrot, I have the celery, and then I'm going to use a little bit of this for garnish, but I will continue to cut these leaves up and use the celery stalk. I'll come and finish cutting and dicing, but I wanted to at least show you guys that I went and I got to my little celery leaves and how I chopped and diced all my vegetables. So let's go on to the stove. You guys, we are at the stove and we are about to put our celery leaves into our crock pot. Want to get all that goodness off of there. And then we're going to add our celery. And then we're going to give it some color by putting in some carrots, which I think are going to be fabulous. Look how beautiful that color is. Can you guys see that? So in here we have the chicken, we have the celery, we have the celery leaves in there, and I'm probably going to add some corn to give it some extra color, because you know I like my food to have a lot of color. And what do I always say? Miss Renee's food has to have lots and lots and lots of flavor. So we're going to put that in there, and we are going to keep it on low, and I'll come back and check on it. Oh, and see this bay leaf? That bay leaf is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's adding that beautiful flavor. So I'm going to let these vegetables soak up all the seasoning, and then I'll come back and taste it and see if it's to my liking. If not, I'll add some more of these seasonings, which was the complete seasoning that you can find at Walmart. And I put some parsley in here. And I put some thyme. And of course I showed you the bay leaf. And then of course, you know, I'm going to put the black pepper. And I only put a little bit of salt, because I don't cook with too much salt. Alright guys, I will bring you back when this is all completed and ready to be bowled up and served. Alright you guys, you know you're just as excited as I am to see how these celery leaves and all this tastes. It looks so good. And I might even throw in some potatoes in here. So, alright guys, I'll see you in a little bit. Guys, my chicken stew is done. Look at all those beautiful vegetables in there. Carrots, I added some corn. I have my own celery that I grew. I even have the celery leaves. I even put some of my celery spice into this chicken stew. So let's take a spoonful and let's see. Oh, and I added some corn, and I also added some potatoes. So let's take a look. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Those potatoes. Look at those carrots. This is just a feast for your eyes. Oh, looks so good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plate it up and let you guys see what the final result looks like. And I even made some homemade cornbread. You know you can't have any kind of soup or stew without some fabulous cornbread. Doesn't that look beautiful? Oh my goodness, just makes my mouth water. All right, I'll be back when I have it all plated up and ready to eat. All right, guys, see you in a minute.